Alright, here's another one, the Midnight Unicorn. And maybe you might like this one because it has pretty neat watercolors in it. It's called the Midnight Unicorn. Millie heard the jangling of Casper's leash and put down the clay unicorn she was shaping. "Anywhere special you want to go today?" asked Dad. "The park," Millie cried, her eyes shining with excitement. "Okay," said Dad, "but wouldn't you like to go somewhere else for a change? Aren't you tired of visiting that same stone statue?" Millie shook her head. She couldn't explain it, but the park, and especially that one statue, were the most important things in the world to her. The park was quiet, except for the sound of dry leaves crunching under their feet, as Millie led the way down the path. Almost there, the quick rhythm of her feet seemed to say. One more bend in the path, and there it was, a small stone unicorn, mottled with age and weather, slightly mossy around its hooves. "We can't stay too long, Millie," said Dad. "I'll be right over there on the bench if you need me." Millie ran her fingers over the unicorn's closed eyes and gentle mouth. It had the kindest, wisest smile, and she had always felt happy when she was nearby. "It's only been a week since I was here, but I've missed you so much," she whispered, stretching on tiptoe to be closer to the unicorn's ear. As Millie pressed her hand against the statue's graceful neck, she felt the stone shiver. Suddenly, the unicorn's hooves lifted off the ground and pranced beside her. "You're alive," she gasped, feeling surprised but not afraid. The unicorn pressed his nose softly against Millie's cheek, and then bent his magnificent head so she could climb onto his back. The ground fell away beneath them and sprang into the sky. Casper bounded after them, barking with joy as his paws left the pavement. Up and up they flew, high over the park and Millie's neighborhood. She kept her eyes shut tight against the rush of wind, and when she opened them, she was amazed to see a bright full moon, a sky suddenly full of stars, and lights twinkling in all the houses below. The town clock struck midnight. As Millie and the unicorn flew over the hills and forest lakes, dark clouds gathered around them, and thunder boomed. "Storm up ahead, we'll have to fly fast to beat it," Millie called out. The unicorn put his head down and charged through the angry clouds. Rain rushed into Millie's face. She could hear Casper whimpering as he galloped close beside them, trying to keep up. "Don't be afraid, Casper," she cried. "We've almost made it." You guys see that? The dog is flying too. As they blasted through the last bank of clouds, Millie cheered and patted the unicorn's strong neck. He swooped down low over the tops of the glistening moonlit mountains, and she could run her fingers through the snow. "It's beautiful here," said Millie, "but could we find somewhere warmer now?" Does that look familiar, guys? The unicorn whinnied softly, and in no time they were all gliding through the warm desert night. Millie waved at the sleepy camels far below on the shimmering red sand dunes. "I've never seen the ocean," Millie told the unicorn. "Could we go there too?" That looks kind of like Qatar, doesn't it? The unicorn turned sharply, and soon they were gliding over a sparkling sea. Waves rolled and crashed along the beach, and when Millie looked up closely, she could see that there were other unicorns prancing in the foam. The unicorn spiraled down, 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 right into the breakers. Millie laughed as they bucked through the salty spray, racing the others. Casper was panting and falling behind, so Millie gently pulled on the unicorn's mane. He climbed easily into the air and landed on a rainbow where Casper could rest. All alone in the dark sea below them was an island. It was lit by a shaft of golden daylight at the end of the rainbow, and Millie saw that a herd of unicorns waited on the beach. See? That's kind of like Africa to me. One by one, the unicorns welcomed Millie, nuzzling her neck with their velvety noses. When she had said hello to all of them, her unicorn led her to a rocky path where she could explore in crystal-clear streams she could drink from. Butterflies and the scent of flowers filled the air. At last, exhausted by all their adventures, Millie, Casper, and the unicorn lay down in the soft grass. Butterfly wings fanned them into a deep, calm sleep. Isn't that nice? Wake up, sweetheart, it's time to go home. Millie opened her eyes and looked at her father. Were you worried about me, Dad? I was gone all night. The unicorn took me to see the mountains and the desert and the ocean, and Dad gave her a hug. You have a wonderful imagination, Millie. But it was real, she started to say. And then she stopped herself. She and Casper and the unicorn knew the truth, and that was all that mattered. Ready to go? Asked Dad. Almost, said Millie. She stood beside the statue and kissed his smooth forehead. Thank you, my midnight unicorn, she whispered. And as she turned to follow her father down the path, Millie was sure she had heard the unicorn whinny a soft goodbye. Alright, I thought you guys would like that one a lot. I really like the drawings of that one too, so I love you guys very much, and I miss you.